Great. So before we get started, the bad news is if you're heading to Chicago or Minneapolis, there are flight delays of between half an hour and an hour because of weather up in the north of the country. So just a bit of a public service announcement before we continue. For those who weren't here yesterday, my name's Mike Hughes. I am CTO of LINX, and LINX is a member of an organisation called European IXPs. And I'm just presenting on behalf of the organisation here to introduce you guys to what we're doing, if you haven't been out to the RIPE meeting recently and found out what we're doing there. So what are we? We're actually an exchange association. We are not an exchange point itself, and we were formed in May 2001. And it was basically to further develop the existing bonds that we already had. At the RIPE meetings, there was a working group devoted to discussing issues for European exchange points. And what we felt was we could actually take that one step further because we all had a lot of shared issues, common problems, shared pain, and a lot of us are not commercial organisations. The large majority of us are not-for-profits, member-run mutual organisations, and therefore, we don't have significant amounts of resources at our disposal, and never have had. So we're trying to sort of pool our resources, and that's something that we've tried to do for quite a while. And European IX was just a way of taking that one step further. There's currently 24 members from all over Europe, and going right out towards Russia as well. The Moscow Exchange is a member. We've taken 3 new members recently in the past 6 months. So I think we have most of the exchanges in the UK are now involved in European IX in one form or another. The Czech exchange has joined, and in their eyes that's a good sign, because obviously the Czech Republic is heading towards hopefully EU membership soon. So they're obviously keen to join the party. We provide a website. And what the website does is it provides 2 things. One of the things it does is it provides resources for people that are looking to peer in Europe about the different exchanges, what services they offer. So there's a portal there that tells you about the exchanges. There's links to each one of the pages, one of the exchanges' homepages, and all the details of are they Ethernet, do they do gig, private peering, all that kind of stuff. The other thing that we also provide is resources for the IXP members themselves. So we have resources about what switches and what equipment we're using, for example. We maintain a database of what our platform is, so that we can put in what software we're running, what bugs we've found, so that, again, it's a way of sharing the pain, because if you actually look at the hardware that's used by the exchange points in Europe, it's mostly from 3 vendors, and that's Cisco, Foundry, and Extreme. So, at some point, one of us is going to come across a problem, and if we can share it, that's good, because it means that we're keeping the exchanges and the internet in Europe hopefully a little bit more stable. The other area as well is obviously there's a lot of regulatory stuff now coming from the EU as a whole rather than from the individual member states of the EU. So one of the things we can do there is hopefully represent the exchange points and obviously their participants in terms of regulatory affairs in the EU. We've got a number of projects in place, and these are shared projects to help all the members. And what we are doing is, again, it's these areas where we do have shared pain or got things that we can gain from close cooperation. One of those is network monitoring, and that is writing down requirements, things that exchange points need from monitoring tools and those kind of utilities. And also, writing small amounts of in-house software, such as Perl scripts and shell scripts and various simple debugging tools. And the idea is we can put up a repository of that software, and the various exchanges, if they need to hack it or modify it, they can contribute that back in as well. So eventually we'll have a CVS database that various exchanges can contribute into with tools. And then the other thing as well is to aim towards hopefully steering some of the existing tool vendors into providing things that are useful and aware of complex layer 2 topologies with a large number of VLANs, which there isn't really anything out there that does a very good job of that at the moment, certainly from what we've seen. The other thing we're also looking at in network monitoring is how we can harness existing freeware open source tools, because obviously we've got the source and we can hack them around to do what we want that way. The other thing that's happening is there's a group working on the various member joining procedures, how people want, what people have to go through when they connect to an exchange in Europe. Some people said it's very complex in Europe because there's so many different organizations with so many different things to do. So if we can try and make that easier for people, great, because that's good for us and good for everybody in the peering community. Finally, the other thing is a project that's working on security, and that's not just security of the exchange mesh itself, but security of the back-end support network, the sort of enterprise network that IXPs need to support their operations. We're about to have our second forum, which is designed to bring together all the Euro IX members to talk about the issues that relate to what we're doing. There was a forum in Barcelona last year, and Paul Vixie attended that. He was one of our guests. The second forum will be happening at the end of March in Turin, in Italy. So there's been some development since this slide set was prepared. And we'll obviously there'll be a general meeting where all the members get together, and if there's any elections or any formal changes that need to be done, that can happen then. So this is basically a meeting for the Euro IX members themselves to attend. Has anybody got any questions? If not, thanks very much, and have a safe trip home.